Tag, you're it. Your voice, your magic.
If you would like to learn about fairy folklore, delve into modern fairy faith spirituality, and explore fun and fanciful fairy-themed events, please subscribe to Fairy Fortunes for new videos every Friday.
Hello, my fair friends. I'm Ruby Ruse, and welcome to Fairy Fortunes. On today's episode, I wanted to join the 9 Questions Community Project, Your Voice, Your Magic, where I first encountered this tag through Taya Kennedy's channel, and I will have links to all of the videos I have encountered currently following this tag. So let's jump right in with question number 1. How old were you when you first started feeling witchy or magical? When I was growing up, my family was very openly psychic, if you will. We had people in the family that had this sight. It was kind of strange because I was also raised Christian, which was very difficult for me because I remember going to Bible school and encountering stories like the Witch of Endor and having magic and witchcraft be very taboo, and I kept thinking to myself, but I'm like that, and does that mean that I'm a bad person? The next question is, when did you say it aloud? That's always been difficult for me because, as I said, I grew up in this magical family, but I didn't really know I was growing up in a magical family because it was just a part of who we were. We more identified as psychics and mediums than we did as witches, although we did have charms and folklore of our own. Mother Goose was a very important aspect of my upbringing. I really feel like the term witch isn't well defined. I know not what you mean by the word witch. I know not what that is. So, I think probably I didn't really identify as a magical person until after I moved to Chicago, which would have been 1998. Question number 3 is, how do you relate to divinity? Well, I met the goddess Persephone. I actually had the opportunity to play her in a theatrical production. Delving into that role, I sensed her presence. Playing Persephone in that production completely altered my life. In that production, I also was working with other individuals, of course, and the gentleman that played Hades once turned to me and he said, "Do you remember anything?" And neither one of us had any recollection of the production that night. And we believed that we had been possessed by the divinity and that they were there and administering to the community and were present in that moment through us for the people. So I've had a very unique experience where I've been able to be a vessel for divinity, which is an incredible and powerful experience, and it's very, very intense. That might actually need to be a video all on its own. If you'd like to hear more about my experiences channeling divinity, please let me know in the comments down below. But for now, let's just move on to question number 4. What is your favorite moon phase? So whenever there was a crescent moon in the sky, my family would always look up and remark of the moon and how magical that was and what a powerful symbol that was and that kind of thing. I would have to say that the crescent moon is my favorite moon cycle because it has that nostalgia and that sense of mystery and magic and ties to my heritage and family. Question number 5 is, what is your favorite divination? And if you've been watching this channel, if not, please subscribe, but if you've been watching this channel, you should be aware by now that geomancy is undoubtedly my favorite form of divination. Question number 5 is, what type of magic are you most likely to use? And they give suggestions like, do you do candle magic? Do you like herbs, sigils, jars, that kind of thing? And I'm going to have to say none of the above for me. None of the above. You probably will never see me do an unboxing video on this channel because I'm not a stuff witch. I don't like stuff. I'm a minimalist, so I don't really have a lot of stuff. So I don't like jars, I don't like candles, I don't like it. So the kind of magic that I like to do is actually something called an egregore, or some people refer to this also as a servitor. An egregore or a servitor is a magical being that the magical practitioner or witch creates. So you give birth, if you will, to a magical being. A lot of people think that this is a very dangerous form of magic. What is dangerous? I think that magic has the potential to be dangerous. I think humans are probably the most dangerous thing on the planet, so I don't think that egregores or servitors are really any more dangerous than a candle spell, if you want my personal opinion. Question number 7 is, what is your favorite magical tool? When I'm casting magic, a lot of my magic is just, so be it. It is. I work the magic and I just unleash it. I don't really use a magical tool very often in magic. However, my current favorite magical tool is probably, I just talked about this in a recent video, this is my Norn necklace that was given to me by a friend. He made this with the energy of the 3 Norns, the 3 fates, and I use this almost nightly in a gratitude practice that I have. So I would have to say this is probably my current favorite magical tool. Question number 8 is, do you write things down in a journal or grimoire? The answer is yes, but my grimoire is very different than I think. Like, the 90s show, was it from the 90s? The show, the original show called Charmed with the 3 witches. Charmed introduced into our culture is the idea of this beautiful grimoire. Like, there were many episodes in the show Charmed where they have this big, huge book that's like the Book of Kells in Ireland, which is actually a Christian-based book, you know, that had all of these glorious, beautifully painted pages and all of these detailed spells and things. I don't have that. I think that's very actually impractical, because in the course of your lifetime, you're going to have boxes and boxes and boxes of journals and magical work. And how do you know what spell is when you need to reference something? Like, how do you do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I went digital with my grimoires. I do keep very detailed records of all of my spells, and in addition to keeping detailed records of the spells, I also periodically record like feedback and elements of how the spell is working. One of the things that I do in my spellcraft is I say, okay, I will know the spell is working when I actually see this, when I audibly hear this, when I actually feel this, or smell this, or taste this. Like, I actually have specific sensory things that I can say the spell is complete, the spell has been accomplished, I have achieved success when this criteria appears. So as I'm working the spell, as I'm going through my magical process, I will then go back into my spells and document when I've encountered those things. It's so much easier for me to do that digitally. Like, I have files on my computer that I can now open up and see the actual spell that I want to see and record feedback in those spells. And then everything is indexed. I know exactly where my information is at my fingertips. And also with journaling, I did mention this device once before in another video. I use the Remarkable tablet now. The Remarkable tablet is a device for journaling. You can actually write in it like a journal, and it feels like paper as you're writing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love it so much. And so all of my journals now are digital, and it's just a much, much better practice. With the remarkable tablet and my digital grimoire, I can upload it to a cloud, and no matter what happens, if my house burns down, I can replace and then download my grimoire onto my new devices. So it just makes much more sense. And last but not least, question number 9, best advice you have learned so far. Well, in addition to try going digital with your magic, please save the planet, save the trees, go digital. My best advice that I could offer is do the thing. Just do it. Don't let anyone say, "Oh my God, it's dangerous. You can't do that." Forget that. Forget that. Do the thing. Go out, create the spell. You want to do a love spell? Knock your socks off. You want to channel a divinity? Fantastic. You want to conjure up a demon? Go for it. I don't care what your magical level of experience is, blah, blah, blah. I've been a witch since the day I was born. Whatever. If you want to try it, if you want to do it, do it. Do the thing. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not experienced enough to do it, that it's too dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Walking outside of your house is one of the most dangerous acts that you can do. So either stay in your house and contact nobody and be a recluse and be miserable, or walk out of your house and see what is available out there for you. So do the thing. That's my advice. Go out there and do the thing. Because, you know, I'm about to go on a tangent. I'm going to go on a tangent. Bunny Mom! Some of you may or may not know that in addition to being a magical practitioner and being a professional fairy and having this YouTube channel, Fairy Fortunes, in the mundane world, my occupation is police officer. And I've been a police officer now going on 19 years and counting. Human beings can be awful. There is no supernatural thing that I have encountered that is worse than the things that I've seen in the mundane world. Human people are awful. They are the most dangerous thing out there. Now, that is not to say that supernatural beings have less power than humans. That's not what I'm saying. But trust me, you are in more danger from another person than you are from a supernatural being. Look at it this way. If you go out on a hike, there is the possibility that you're going to step on a rattlesnake and it's going to bite you, and that bite could kill you. That is a viable possibility. Likewise, if you go out on a hike, there is a distinct possibility that you could encounter a supernatural being and piss it off. That is a possibility. So once again, you can either stay in your house and be a recluse and be miserable for the rest of your life and experience nothing, or you can just do the best that you can. You know, human beings are terrible. They are. But you know what? There's also beautiful people out there too. And to be honest, I have encountered far more good and decent human beings than I have encountered evil ones. And, you know, there are tons of really hardened criminals out there that have committed such beautiful acts of kindness. Everybody is truly capable of good and bad. So, do the thing. Be brave. Go out there and do it. And if you make a mistake, you will be able to correct it. You will. You know, life is dangerous. Life is a challenge. So either live it or don't. And that is my advice. Please let me know if you're interested in participating in this community project. I will have the videos that I have seen, including the creator of the tag House of Witchcraft, linked for you down below. I really enjoy doing tag videos, and if you're here watching this one, you probably do too. So you might also enjoy my video on the Happy Witch tag, which I will have linked for you in a panel right next to me. Please also check out my website, www.fairyfortunes.com, and my social media, which I have linked for you in the description box down below. And with that, have a magical day.